Jackie Chan, king of the fight scene story, Rumble in the Bronx fight scene analysis coming up. So if you're new to this channel and you love movies and martial arts, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Welcome to Fight Scene Friday, the show where we analyse the fight scenes from some of your favourite movies and television shows. My name's Asten Regis, and on today's show, we're going to look at the Rumble in the Bronx fight scene between Jackie Chan and the Gangsters. Absolutely brilliant fight scene from Jackie Chan, the king of the fight scene story in my opinion. What I love about him is the fact that he really brought the elements of using the surrounding environment in a very comedic way to the big screen. He was inspired by Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and all these silent film movie stars from the early 1920s, 1930s. And what I love about this fight scene was it really tells a story of what's going on. Earlier in this movie, Jackie had been attacked by these gangsters and they had cornered him into an alley and they'd thrown glass bottles at him and really cut him up really badly and injured him really badly. And this is another great thing about Jackie's characters. He's not afraid to be vulnerable. He's not afraid to get hurt. His brand of comedy and action and using the environment as a weapon, as a way to escape and the way to fight his opponents, is really a signature of his kind of fighting style. This fight personifies that, really personifies that. All I like is he comes to the gangsters' warehouse and he's like ready to face them, because like it's obviously at a point in the film where he's had enough of these gangsters and he needs to face them. He obviously had a bit of fear from what happened before when he was attacked and, you know, with all those shards of glass. And what I love about that is you see that element in the fight scene when it starts. It obviously starts with him and the gangster, the lead gangster guy, fighting on top of a pool table. And he's like, you want to prove you're man enough? Put down the gun, because the guy's pointing a gun at him. So he throws away the gun when he sees the girl, Jackie Chan's kind of friend come in, or girlfriend come in, who he's trying to impress as well. So he throws down the gun to fight him man to man on top of the pool table. Obviously Jackie beats him. So what happens? Obviously the thugs have to join in and try and beat up Jackie Chan. This is where we start to see those brilliant moves that using the environment. They're in a warehouse, so there's so much for Jackie to kind of play with, from fridges and microwaves, you know, the fact that he uses that, to trolleys and skis as well. He uses the ski as a pole, which is really great to see. And there's a point going back to that part where he was attacked where some of the thugs are reaching for some glass bottles of vodka and alcohol lined up on the table. So they go to grab that, to grab those to attack Jackie. So first thing Jackie does is he makes sure that they can't grab it. So he's there he's smashing all the bottles, getting rid of them, you know, as they're trying to grab him, you know. And one guy like tries to grab him, he's spinning in the air, he fates to hit him and then knocks him over their head with it, and it just makes that doink noise, so it doesn't actually smash, and then he smashes it later on in the fight. So I thought that was really good. Again, it's what Jackie always talks about, is showing character through action. Like the audience needs to feel the emotion of what's going on and why it's happening, and the fact that he's using his environment to fight his way out of this situation. He uses fridge doors, again, fridges in the warehouse, to kind of block his opponents and even to knock one of his opponents in the fridge, you know, while he knocks him out and then he shuts the door, you know, those kind of things. There's a pinball table and he's underneath the pinball table as they're trying to hit him with baseball bats, and it's really good because what the action's happening fast paced. It's like what he said from early back in the day, a lot of the Hong Kong action films, there'd be one guy fighting many and one would attack and then the rest would be in the background doing this, like waiting for their turn to come in. And it's like, that's not realistic. What's realistic is if there's a gang of people, they're all going to attack you at once, you know. So what you see with Jackie is he avoids one bat and then another bat comes in from another angle, and the camera cuts to show he's being attacked here, and then he ducks underneath the pinball table and he's still getting attacked by other people swinging bats at him, or the same guy from the other side swinging a bat at him. So he's got to react quick, and the edits are done in a very intelligent way. It's not just a lot of quick cuts for the sake of quick cuts. It kind of gives you that sense of urgency and that sense of, oh, chaos, like there's a lot of things happening and he's having to avoid all these attacks. He has to have very fast reaction time to avoid these attacks. And he was one of the guys who really pioneered that. Because again, a lot of the Hong Kong films from back in the day, it was whenever there was multiple fights happening, it was usually maybe 1 or 2 guys would attack one guy, whereas there'd be 10 other guys in the background just kind of waiting for their turn to fight like this. And it's like, that's not realistic. So Jackie was like, well, why don't I have 4 guys all come and attack me at the same time and me deal with that? So he designs his choreography around that. This one, in terms of his modern action scenes in Hollywood, is one of the best because it's very fast paced, it's very emotionally driven at this point in the story, and you really feel like the danger and also the comedy within the fight. To the point that the gang leader realizes Jackie's skill and he's like, you win. And then even his henchman, even when he fires the gun, he fires the gun again and he's like, I said, stop, you know, you win, you know, let him go. Because he's trying to restart the fight and Jackie's there knocking the guy out with the ski and spinning it around, and he's really showing his skill set as a martial artist. The gang leader kind of had a bit more respect for Jackie at that point, whereas earlier in the film he didn't. Because he came to his place, he beat him in a fight, they attacked him, they couldn't beat him. They're like, you know what, let's let this guy go. He's shown us that he's a great warrior and actually what we've done to him is quite unfair, so let's just let him go. And it's kind of like standing up to a bully. When you stand up to bullies, they kind of respect you a bit more. I mean, I've never been bullied myself, but I've seen when people stand up to injustice or to a bully, then the bully backs down. It's a sign of fear. Fear is what kind of drives them to attack you in the first place. So Jackie was attacked earlier in the film and he had a bit of fear about this. Even though he was able to fight, he lost the fight. But in this fight scene, he's ready for them. And this time he's ready, he knows their dirty tactics, he's not gonna fall for that. So really, he wins the fight because the gang leader had to stop it, because he was like, you know what, we've done this guy wrong. He's come into our place and actually had the courage to take us on. And he's done a good job. He beat me up in a fair fight. And now my gang members are trying to beat him, but they're actually losing, and like, let's just stop this. And I thought that was really good. A good element to the fight, a good element to the story that was driven through this action, as well as using the environment in such a clever way like Jackie Chan always does in his movies. So Rumble in the Bronx, if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested in the movie or where you can get the movie. It's an affiliate link, so we'll be supporting the channel if you do click on the link. Definitely, for me, I love the movie, and I love that fight scene. It's definitely my favorite fight scene within this movie. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this fight scene. What are your favorite elements of the fight scene? What do you think Jackie Chan's best fight scene is in terms of the modern day fighting as opposed to some of the old school comedic fighting? I mean, you can leave that down below if you want, but I'd like to compare some of his modern day fighting styles, because within that there was a lot more of this kind of fast pace, you know, multiple attackers attacking, as opposed to the Chinese opera style fighting that you see in films like Drunken Master, the first Drunken Master anyway, because Drunken Master 2 kind of incorporates this kind of style. But I'd like to know what you thought, like films like, compared to films like Rush Hour, Shanghai Noon, a lot of the Hollywood films that he does, Police Story as well, and all those classic Hong Kong modern day action films with this kind of style. Where do you think this fight ranks in terms of those kind of fighting styles that Jackie Chan does? I'd love to know your comments down below, because I love this fight scene and I love talking about it. So leave your comments down below, I'll respond to your comments. We'll see if we agree or disagree on some of these fight scenes. Anyway, I'll see you next week for another Fight Scene Friday. And remember, behind every fight is a great story. Peace!